Hi guys, I'm Shmee. Hello and good morning to you from a very blustery Sydney, but let's hope the weather stays back today because we've got a big one ahead. Now behind me, the DB11 V8, the car I'm going to be driving today, thanks to Trivett Aston Martin here in Sydney. I'm waiting here at the moment for Nico, damn Batman, to arrive with his 650S Spider, and then we're going to be convoying over towards the farm. Now the farm is quite literally some tarmac in somebody's back garden, so this should be pretty epic and an awful lot of fun. Then we're coming back here towards Sydney for this afternoon's Shmeeting, where if your messages are anything to go by, this could be quite a big one. So I think I can hear the 650S arriving in the background, and then let's get set to get on the way. Here he comes, the 650S Spider from Nico, who has just arrived to join us. How you doing this morning?
Morning!
You good?
Yeah.
Nice to see you. This car has, well, a new exhaust system and a new wing at the back, but we will head off with the two cars now, get on the road and head over towards the farm. Well, actually, no, we're stopping to meet up with some others on the way, and I'll talk a little bit about the DB11 V8 while we're at it. Normally in the DB11 you would find a giant V12. It has a 5.2 litre twin turbocharged V12. This model though borrows on their new partnership with Mercedes with Daimler, so it has the 4 litre biturbo V8, a similar engine to that which you find in the C63S and even the AMG GTS. And I say this just as we're going across the Sydney Harbour Bridge, which is quite a cool place to really get this video started. So 510 horsepower, a little bit less weight, the similar engine set up to that which is going to be in the new Vantage as well, so look forward to driving that at some point. It has an automatic gearbox rather than the double clutch gearbox that the AMG GT has, so a slightly different setup there. It actually sounds quite sporty in that sense. Nice characteristics. We'll discover more about it as we go. But the, I suppose, raison d'etre, the reason to be, is that it's slightly cheaper, slightly lighter, and in theory might be a slightly better drive. We will discover more as we make our way. Anyway, we're meandering out of Sydney traffic, crossing, first time I've driven across the Harbour Bridge myself. But I will follow the 650S, which makes some lovely fizzes from the turbos as we meander northwards. Tunnel time then, so window down. What's Nico going to do for us? What am I going to do actually? Let's drop some gears, put it into Sport Plus mode. Where are we? Oh, I've gone too far, I've gone back into GT mode. There we go. We're in Sport Plus, now we are. Nice cracks. That's alright. It is a very good engine sound. It's a bit more muted, while I'm used to the GTR, of course. Downshift a few times, 4th gear, 3rd gear, 2nd gear, nice cracks. Now, a V12 would be a bit more throaty, but the V8 is not really lacking. AMGs make amazing sounds, they always have. And this is no different. I mean, the V12 would be a little bit more, but it's not a bad thing, that's for sure. Well, we didn't do a good job of avoiding rain, and nor did we do a very good job of avoiding traffic. So we're not going to meet the others on the way, we're going to meet everyone when we get to the farm, because otherwise we're going to waste too much time. But I'm secretly, or not even secretly at all, hoping that this rain stops very soon, because otherwise this is going to, well, dampen the day, isn't it? We've found the other two cars, also from Trivett. We have the McLaren 570S Spider and the McLaren 720S, so there are now 4 of us, ready for the final stretch over towards the farm. And the amusing thing about this little group of cars that I've just worked out is that they all have twin turbocharged V8s. 2 3.8, 2 4 litres, I guess that's less of a surprise with the McLarens, but it makes for quite a nice little convoy, really. If you've watched my videos from New Zealand, you'll know that I've become quite fond of that thing, the McLaren 720S, and just look at it on the road right now, with the wing up, aero mode. That car in complete stealthed out black looks incredible. I believe that we're nearly there, completely in the middle of nowhere, but the gentleman who owns this place has literally just put down tarmac in his garden to create a track kind of thing. It's like a speed restricted countryside road, we could almost say. Anyway, it looks like it's right in here, so let us go check this place out. Now the thing about this is it's a private roadway, not a racetrack. It is about testing vehicles, an opportunity to drive vehicles that aren't necessarily registered for the road, but it is incredibly technical and lets you see how your inputs will impact the line of the car. For example, too early throttle, what will that do to the line you're taking? For me right now, I've done a few laps just to get a taster of it, but I'm going to take it quite easy because there is not an awful lot of runoff. It's a perfect opportunity to almost think of it like an unrestricted public road, to drive it like a street, but knowing there are no oncoming vehicles, And, well, there are no speed limits, right? So down the straights, you can put your foot down and get a bit of sound out of it. And this car does sound very good. To be honest, there aren't really huge discernible differences between V12 and V8. The V8 version of this car is as good as I remember the V12 being. It feels lighter and nimble, quite agile and ready to go. As we just pirouette around these S's. You don't want to be too early on the power or you risk running out too wide, a bit like I have done now. That's what I mean by how technical it is. But hey, first lap in the DB11. Out onto the back straight, traction interfering a little bit. Obviously it is quite a wet day. Up to the red line. Need to be early on the brakes here, downhill though, and straight towards trees. I think it's fair to say that cars with the engines behind are perhaps a little bit more appropriate. So let us go and swap now into a McLaren. Now, I am not gonna lie, I absolutely love the McLaren 720S. It is so quick. My goodness. We're driving in sport mode. But again, just have to remember that this is a private roadway. This is not a full-on racetrack, and it started drizzling, which means the grass would be very, very slippery right now. But the feel of this car, the noises it makes, just heavenly. Concentrating in a very, very big way at the moment, as you can probably tell. Just to make sure we get this spot on. Oh, just the front end of the 720S. It's absolutely glorious. And this has been a good line through here, I'm pleased with that. That's how you're supposed to drive it. And away we go. We can fold down the screen into the track view. If you wanted to drive like that. Really, you want your tyre temperatures up and that kind of information when you're out on the racetrack though, so kind of the opposite of what it's for, but it allows you to see a little bit more information, a little bit more of the view out of the front. However, just driving this feels incredible. Foot down, up to the red line. My goodness. We're going to be up to 200 on easily. Air brake up, firm on the brakes, downhill. Got to remember gravity, don't want to go into that bush area in front of us. Tug the right side round here. Turn in marker. Wow. Now this corner I'm coming up to is actually called, I'm not going to tell you the second word of that, because basically it's very easy to get it awfully, awfully wrong. Wow. Now we're low on fuel in the 720S, so we'll put the screen back up and take it gently and head back towards the pits. But this has been a wonderful venue. Obviously it's very secretive, very private, and that's what's so incredible about it to me. The location is kept as private as possible, and I mean, it's an opportunity to drive. It's just heavenly, glorious place. Loving the experience, the environment, and the opportunity to experiment with the car. From private tarmac back to public tarmac, although the timing has clearly been perfect because the heavens have opened and it is now horrible. We would not want to be driving around that in these conditions, so we definitely got very, very lucky. We are now going to head back towards Sydney. Well, we'll stop for lunch somewhere on the way as the convoy of cars, and then this afternoon back in Sydney it will be Shmeeting time. So I am very much looking forward to this actually. Loads of DMs from you guys on Instagram, messages on Facebook saying that you're going to be there, so it'll be super, super cool. I don't really know what to expect, other than I hope it's not going to be like this weather, although we will be there regardless. We've stopped off at the Gosford Classic Car Museum. Lots of you had told me that I had to come and visit this place, and just look around. There are 400 cars in here worth 70 million Australian dollars. It's the private collection of Tony Denny, an Australian entrepreneur, and all of the cars are here to be seen. They're actually all for sale, so there's a turnaround of new cars in here all of the time apparently. But we have things from modern supercars like the SLS AMG, the Porsche 911R, obviously very rare. Some race cars, the Aston Martin DB9. We've got European sports cars, supercars like the Countach 5000 and the Diablo SV just behind that. Some Ferraris in the lineup here, Testarossa, 365BB, 250 GTE, obviously very rare, very valuable. About 30 Ferraris in here, making up about 30% of the value of the entire collection, but it's changing a lot apparently. You can see basically everywhere we look different types of cars, even a fire engine truck just there. But American cars, we've got Australian cars, basically one of every. Holden, of course, Holden, big Australian manufacturer, unfortunately no longer producing cars here in Australia, which is a bit of a change from the past, but there is absolutely everything. It's an eclectic mix of cars. I don't really know where to start, but just having a quick look around basically. All sorts of merchandise and branding and things as well, which is always really cool. It's like a gigantic man cave. Basically, just here, all the cars, take a look around, hang out, have a look at cool stuff as well. That's a Jaguar Xjr 15. You actually really rarely see those. Not many, a lot, from TWR in the UK. Very unusual, precursor to the XJ220. One very clean 1969 Ford Mustang Fastback. That's super, super smart. Next to it, we have a Mercury Cougar. I'm reading all of these signs and learning a lot as I go. On the other side, two polar opposites of motorsport, you could say. This is a Brabham race car. Bit of trivia for you. The first race car to do an average 100-mile-an-hour lap at Bathurst. Of course, a pretty famous Australian racetrack. But imagine how terrifying it must be driving something as powerful as this, but right down on the ground with barely any bodywork around you. Then behind it is the Aussie Invader 3. This was going for a land speed record attempt. It broke it in one direction, but due to bad weather, they had to pause. And before they got the opportunity to do it back the other way, because they take averages for these things, the Brits and Andy Green with Thrust SSC went and broke it. But either way, this thing can go over 1,000 kilometers an hour, which is absurd, to be honest. There are just, well, every different type of car you could think of in here. There's a Nissan Nismo GTR as well, right next to a completely different lineup of machines. On the one side is a huge pink Cadillac. That's a stylish way to roll. And then opposite that is a DeLorean. Those are polar opposites, the gull-wing doors. Back to the Future, anybody? Not the Back to the Future version. And random, you know, just completely different things. De Havilland Rapide, 1998. That's newer than I was expected. What else do we have looking around? We have a whole extra room. Aston Martin V8. I particularly like the colour, very similar to the colour of my Aston. Then some random Ferraris and extra Astons. And then the other way, we have a Holden SLR, Australian muscle car, people. How could I miss the NSX as well? Somehow I managed to completely just walk past that. Very nice in yellow. That was a cool place to visit. I didn't really know what to expect, but very nice collection of cars. And now we're back on the roads towards Sydney. So the weather is still absolutely awful. I'm just praying it's going to be a little bit better later on. Wherever in the world I go, I seem to bring bad weather with me, but we just put the two cars here for a photo shoot because look at this view. Sydney, the Harbour Bridge, Sydney Opera House. It is incredible. If only it was a little bit sunnier, and now my camera lens is getting covered in water as well, which is not ideal, so I'm going to get back in the car and get moving. I get the impression from social media that there are quite a few of you guys already here. I'm really excited actually to get here and see. Hopefully it's not going to rain again. It's holding back at the moment. We shall find out in a little bit. We're only a couple of minutes away. Here we are then. Now, are we going to be able to find somewhere to park? That is the question. Loads of people here. This is pretty cool. How you doing? Thank you very much.
Hi, Shmee.
How you doing? Yeah, I know. I brought it with me from the UK. How's it going? How are you?
Good.
Hey guys. Awesome, awesome. How is everyone? No pressure then, just parking in front of everyone. Sweet. That was okay. Could have been worse. All right, let's jump out, say hello to everyone, and get Shmeeting underway. Cheers! Sydney, you're awesome! Woo! Oh, and a 720S. Oh, wow. Right. There are loads of cool cars here. I'm just going to run up and have a look at all the cars. 570 Spider, Dawn, that's very nice. Ah, this is cool. Cool, Megane RS. Oh, C63. 11. M3, that looks cool. Well, loads of cars. I should have come up earlier. RS5, R8 Spider. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. That thing is mad. Crazy.
30 grand.
Goodness me. Goodness me. It keeps going. It keeps going. Oh, sorry about the wind here, guys. Got a Ghost. Nice plate. GT3, new one. I still haven't driven my new GT3, and there is one right there. GT3 RS. Gran Turismo. This is epic. Very nice. How's it going? GT3 RS. Super cool. Very nice, very nice. That's quite noisy. Well, there we have it. The light is going, but what a crazy day today has been. From driving the DB11 V8, I hope you've enjoyed that side, going up to the farm and driving with the 720S as well, then coming back via the Gosford Classic Car Museum, then here to Sydney to meet everyone. Thank you very much to everyone who's been here. Really appreciate it. It's been an awesome, awesome evening. Sydney's actually been absolutely epic. It's not quite over yet though. Then it will be down to Melbourne for the last stages of the Down Under Tour. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this one up there. Thank you very much for watching as always, guys, and I'll catch up with you again very soon. Cheers.